What is going on, everybody? Mike Hill Hobbies, and this is an unboxing of a drip irrigation kit. Everything is included in the box, so if you are a home gardener or you grow them beautiful flowers, stick around. This one is good for you. This comes from Pones. This is how you spell it. Link will be in the description below. Just scroll down right past the description underneath it, and I will have the link to take you right to it. You can get this for yourself. It's on Amazon. Comes right to your front door. It's a very, very nice kit. Every single thing is included in the box here. You've got the manual directions. This has sit up. It's got some common problems and solutions. It has a couple of photos to show you how to sit this up. And I just want to note, even from the factory, you'll see coming off each side of the main faucet there, they've only got 6 of these on each side. You get much more than that, but I definitely recommend only putting 6 of the fan or drip emitters on each side of the valve. If you go much more than that, they don't really work that great. If you stick around 6, just like the manufacturer says, they work perfect. I got 60 PSI on water at my house, and 6 is just about max to make everything work correctly. You can see right there, if you want to pause the video, this is everything that's in there. So we will pull everything out of the box. Right here you get 18 of these emitters. These are the drip emitters, and they're very nice. You just righty-tighty to close them off, and lefty-loosey opens them up. The more you open them up, the more drip you're gonna get. And you get 18 of those in the pouch. You get 12 of these fan emitters. These are probably my favorite ones. Same thing, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. You can get them where you want them and you can leave it there, or you can go through and close every one off or open each one up if you don't want certain areas working. Or you can simply just open it up, get what you need, and then every time you turn the faucet on to the main valve, it'll have that same fan or drip pattern to where you've got it set to. So, very nice. It's got a nice durable plastic construction. They work really, really good. I actually really, really like these kits. You know, you get everything in here. The fan ones, the drip ones, 18 and 12. You get 59 feet of this 1/4 inch tubing. This is the tubing that connects to the fan or the drip emitters. So you get a ton of that. You just need some scissors or some wire dikes and you can cut right through this. Also in the box here, you're gonna get 39 feet of this 1/2 inch tubing. This is what connects from the valves to the barbed connectors, which connect to the 1/4 inch tubing, so you can send it out to the emitters. Same thing with this. It's a nice plastic tubing. It's good for all weathers. It's going to hold up out in the heat and the sun and cool temperatures also. Cut it with scissors, cut it with wire dikes. This stuff is really, really nice also. You get 2 of the 1/2 inch valves, and this is the barb connectors. You'll be able to see that's what they're calling the barb right there. And I'm not going to push this on all the way, because once you push it on, you pretty much got to cut it off. The connections are really tight, really snug. Keeps everything from dripping so the water goes where you want it. So you're just going to slide it onto the cap there. You push it on here. You push it all the way in, and then you just slide your connector and tighten it down all the way, and it will hold that tubing in there. It's not going anywhere. Very nice. You get 2 of these valves. So you get these on-off valves. You get 2 of these barbed connectors, which go from the 1/2 inch to the 1/4 tubing here. So you can use this for the end of your run. So you can have your tees up further in the run, teeing off, and then this will be your end run. So the end of your 1/2 inch tubing comes into this, and then you have your 1/4 inch tubing going out to your very last emitter. You get 2 of those. You also are going to get your faucet adapter. So this is just your standard water hose thread there. It comes with 2 rubber gaskets, so whatever you need to make that work, get it tight so you don't have any leaking. And this just connects right to your faucet, or it connects right to a garden hose, and then that's where you can tee out to your valves to start doing your runs. So you get one of these. Also in the box you have your barbed T connectors. You have the T connectors which go out to a single hose, which is these right here. So your 1/2 inch tubing comes here, and then you have your single barb for your 1/4 inch going out. That way you get 8 of these total. And then also you have your barbed T connectors, same thing, but this goes out to 2, so you can run 2 out in the same area, and you get 10 of these. So plenty of adapters and tons of tubing to get a lot of irrigation going. If you don't have an irrigation system, or if you're tired of running garden hoses out everywhere, this is a perfect option, because you can set this up, you leave it, and then you can just connect your hose right to it whenever you want to turn it on and let it go. And then you also got your valves for each run that you're going to do. You can shut it on or off right at the valve, and you can have this right at your water source. So it's very, very convenient. Absolutely love these things. I'm going to get some set up outside. We'll give it a test, show that video, and hopefully you will be able to get some of these for you and make your life a little bit easier when it comes to watering your garden or your flowers. Okay, so first things first is your adapter to the faucet. Now, I have these quick connect fittings that makes it so much easier, and I'm going to go ahead and put that right on the faucet adapter. I have one on my hose, which just snaps right on here, makes everything that much quicker. So I'm going to go ahead and run probably about 6 to 8 inches of the 1/2 inch tubing, and then connect the valves. So we'll go ahead and cut some of this tubing here. So I'm just going to make about an even run for each one. I'll just bend it over and cut it right here with a simple pair of scissors. Cuts nice and easy, and then I will just split that in half there. That is going to go over the threaded fitting, and then you're just going to push it all the way down on that barb, and then tighten this all the way up, as tight as you can get it. That way you don't have any water leaks. And then you just add your valve to each end there. Same thing, just loosen it up. These are non-directional, so you can put them any direction you want. Make sure you put your threaded connector on first. Once you get this thing threaded, it really snugs it down on that barb, and you pretty much have to cut it to get those things back off. Cut the tubing anyway. So same thing on the other side, and you don't actually have to take these off. You can just loosen them up and put your tubing on there, push it in. You can fill it when it bottoms out, and same thing, tighten that all the way up so you don't have any leaks. Grab your other valve, loosen it up, take your tubing, push it on there till it bottoms out. I'm just making sure that my valves are upright the way that my faucet connector is. Tighten that up all the way, and that is the start to your run, depending on how long you want those pieces of tubing to be. And I guess I'm probably around 10 to 12 inches on each side. So you're going to start running your 1/2 inch tubing off of here. You're going to take your emitters and stick them down in the ground where you think you're going to want those, whether or not you want the drip or the fan pattern. And then you're just going to start connecting your hoses to reach to the T fittings so you can go out to the emitters. So that is how you want to do that. I suggest putting the emitters down in the ground where you want them. Put your starting run over by where your water source is going to be, and then start running your tubing with your T fittings. All right, here in my front flower bed, I've gone ahead and put the emitters down where I would like them. These things do fan out quite a bit. I would say probably you can get up to around 3 feet on each side of this. So you can get up to about a 6-foot radius depending on how much you open that head up there. Got some over here. I went ahead and done 6 of the fan emitters in this section of my front flower bed up here. So now I'm going to start cutting and running the tubing, and that will take care of this section right here. Now, for the main water connection, got my hose up here, and I have this fancy little hose holder that has a door. I'm gonna go ahead and drill 2 1/2-inch holes here, and I'm gonna have this inside of here with the tubing going down out of it. So these valves are gonna be hanging down here in the hose area, and this will be inside protected. That way I won't have to worry about any kind of dirt or debris getting in there. And you may want to think about that too. And if you're not going to have a quick connector, you can get these little caps that go on the garden hose thread there, so you can protect anything from getting inside of there. Okay, to give you an idea what I've done here to make things much easier, I just drilled 2 holes in there. I've got the hoses coming down, and then when I'm ready to not use my spray nozzle, you just quick disconnect, and then you can quick connect right to your irrigation system, and then turn the water on, turn your valves. Much easier. Okay, if you're doing this the way I'm doing it, and you've already put your emitters in the location where they are going to be, I'm going to start at the very last emitter and take the single connection barb here, connect it to my 1/4-inch tubing, and then connect that to the emitter, and then I'm going to go ahead and connect it to my 1/2-inch tubing and start running that out to my T connection, so I can go to the very next emitter, and then all the way up to the valve connection at the water supply. Very simple. Just if you're worried about cutting too little, just cut more than you need, and if you have excess, you can cut that off, or you can just kind of go ahead and bury it underneath the mulch. Just keep in mind, while you're routing all of this tubing, try not to lay it down in the dirt so you don't get any debris in here. That way when you go to use it, if there's any debris, it's going to shoot them down the tubing where the emitters are, and it's going to get stuck in there, and they're not going to work correctly. So just try to keep everything nice and clean until you're completely done. So that's what's next. Okay, so I got my 1/4-inch tubing here. I'm just going to go ahead and connect it to the end cap barb connector, just like so. Make sure you run the length for whatever you need. This just happens to be what I need. And I'm going to go ahead and push it down on the emitter. Make sure you push it down all the way until it bottoms out. Do not worry, this is not going to come loose off of there. I've done several of these and they never come off. It's going to hold up just fine. So then you can go ahead and put that emitter back down in the ground where you want it. And now you're going to connect your 1/2-inch tubing and run it to your T. For this particular T, I'm using the one that has 2 1/4-inch tubings coming off of that, because I have 2 emitters pretty close right here. So I will have this T here feeding those 2, and then so on and so forth all the way back to the water source. So continue with that, and everything is going to be nice. Like I said, just don't lay your tubing down in the dirt while you're running this. Keep debris out of this. I've got a nice mulchy area, so it's pretty compacted. This is last year's mulch. Everything's going to stay nice and clean at the moment. So go ahead, run all your tubing, and then we'll give this thing a shot and see how it works. And here you see I've got the hose all connected. I'll definitely tighten this thing up and make everything look a lot better, and I will cover all of this tubing up with mulch. It lays down very nicely. I left myself quite a bit of extra tubing, which I do suggest you do so. That way, if you decide you want to move them around a little bit, you can see I've got some coiled up there. That way I've got a good, I'd say probably 10, 11 inches of play. I can move these around. And you can see I ran that one out there to a T there, which goes over to that one, and then a straight run out to my last one. So I have 6 of the fan emitters here in this front little flower section. Like I say, everything is gonna get covered up with mulch. I gotta redo mulch for this spring. And it's very nice. I mean, this is all gonna hit everywhere I need it to hit up here. If you decide you wanna do the drip emitters instead of the fan emitters, just simply grab your scissors, go there to the emitter, cut the end off, and then plug it into the other emitter. It's that easy. Total time on this was about 14 minutes. So in less than 15 minutes, you can run a nice drip irrigation kit and not have to worry about running hoses everywhere, or if you're in a crunch for time but you need to water your flowers or your garden, you can hook the hose right up to the faucet adapter, turn it on, let it go while you go handle other business or take care of other parts of your garden or flowers. And if you happen to have one of these, I just got this at the home store. It's got this nice little door, pops right open, and that is where my adapter is going to live. So I'm going to plug the hose into this, adjust the nozzles, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, and that's how you're going to adjust the flow or the rate of the water coming out of your emitters. And we'll give it a run. I've got the water on, got the emitters open. Getting a really nice fan pattern here. It's hitting everything just how it should. Got this one under there, getting my back plants. I didn't go too close to the house. I'm not a fan of running too much water next to the foundation. This one over here is fanned out. It's hitting all of these. Got that one there. And then here is the end run. And I'm gonna actually scoot that one over a little bit so it can hit those, I think they're called California elephant ears over there. So that's why you leave yourself a little bit of tubing to play with. And you can see here, I'll close this up. You can close it completely off, or you can lefty-loosey and keep opening this thing up. I'm gonna go ahead and get it in place, and I'll open it up full blast, and everything should work. Yes, so that's what I'm looking for. I was trying to hit these back plants. So that is it. And like I said, you don't want to go any more than 6 on a single run. You might get away with 7, maybe 8, but I've really had the best luck only using 6 on each run from the valve. So you got 2 valves, you can run 6 more the other direction. You know, that way you can close this side off and open that side up. But you don't want to go any more than 6 on a single run. And like I said, I've got 60 PSI on my water, and that is pretty much standard. So very, very nice kit. Extremely easy to set this up. Very easy to hide. I mean, you throw a little mulch on that tubing and you're not going to see it at all. Really, really like this kit. So I'm going to go ahead and run this other side here. I've got a little bit to do in my garden in the back, and then we'll wrap things up. All right, I've got this other side here done. Ran the 1/2-inch tubing along the foundation there. I've come out to a fan and then teed out to a drip. Continued on back there also to another tee with the same setup. I've got a fan now on this side, which is opposite of the drip, and then teed over to a drip. And then once you get to the end, you're gonna have to run a T connection with a single going out to whatever you decide. I did a fan, and then you have to run your single barb connection there for your last run. And that just comes around to a fan over here. So I may throw a T in there and possibly get another run over here. That's after I get some more things planted on this side. But that wraps up the whole front side of the south side of my house, with 12 in each one of the flower beds. So I'm gonna put some more in the flower beds over there. I'll top it off with 1 or 2 there, and then I'll have 3 or 4 here just for a separate setup. And I've got that one all ran, everything's connected. I'll go ahead and open the valve. This side has been on for just about 15 minutes, and you can see that it is soaked very, very nicely. This kit works extremely well. It's a huge time saver and completely cuts down on the hassle of running a hose everywhere. If you don't have sprinklers or an irrigation system, this is definitely the way to go. And even if you do, if you need a little more irrigation in some areas where you don't have it and you don't want to dig up the ground and run some irrigation, this is a must-have. So I'm going to open the valve on this side, and we'll get this going and check it out with the drip emitters. You see I've got a nice wide fan pattern here. I open these fan emitters up all the way, and the drip emitters all the way. You can see here is the drip emitter. These are the ones you're going to want to get close to your plants. They don't have quite as much area coverage as the fans. That's why I like the fans better. But these right here are really, really good for potted plants, or if you want to get right up to the source and really get some ground soak. Another fan emitter there. Got another drip one here. I'm probably going to replace this one with the fan so I can get it more out here in the middle. And 2 fans on the end here. Coverage is really, really nice with these. And you can see they're going all the way out on the sidewalk there. So you get about 3 foot on each side, so 6 foot diameter. Really, really love this kit. Absolute must-have if you're going to be doing any kind of gardening or flowering. It's just going to make everything much easier. Like I said, even if you have an irrigation system, you can put this in a place where you might not be able to get to, or if you have potted plants and you just want to have a single connection like I have here. Very, very nice to have. Absolutely love it. 100% recommend this to anyone that is growing any kind of food or flowers. It is a must-have. Absolutely love this kit. Thanks for watching.